Steenberge Red Bornem.
And remember, life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. This is Red Bornem and it comes from the Steenberge Brewery, who are based in Belgium. East Flanders to be exact, near Ghent. And this is their Red Bornem. And it's an Abbey beer. Now, that is such a broad description of Belgian beer. It could mean anything. I've seen it described as a pale ale. It's 7%. So I'm going to assume it's something that like a triple. I could be wrong though. So that's how much I know about this beer. I have tried. It's not on their website. It doesn't give you an indication of what this is on the website. Hence the reason I am winging this information that I'm giving to you at the moment. It's Steenberge. Now they're based in a place called Ertveld, and that is in East Flanders. And I think I've had a few of these beers before, the Steenberge. Yes, I have. The Golden Draak, which I think is here. Now I remember this being really nice. That is the first dark triple that I've tried or had since. They call that a triple. I think that's more quadruple by taste, but that's what they do. They do the Golden Draak stuff. They also do the Pirate stuff as well. It's a Pirate Belgian beer. I don't think I've reviewed that on the channel. That's quite hard to get hold of over here for some reason. Don't know why, but I think Steenberge also do some contract brewing as well. I'm sure I've seen their beers advertised. I think maybe for Aldi, possibly. Am I thinking? Yeah, I think it's Steenberge. I think they do some contract brewing. So you know my views on contract brews. There's always a compromise when beer is contract brewed. This isn't. This is one of their own beers. The reason it's got a heron with a fish in its mouth is because in that area there are lots of herons, and herons go fishing, and that's why they've honoured that tradition now. So with that in mind, that's really all the information I can give you. There is fuck all out there on the web about this beer, which is, I don't know. But the Steenberge website, yeah, you really should, if you're going to be selling this beer, at least give you some fucking information. But there you go. Let's check it out. Rightio, it's 7%. It's 330ml bottle. It's an Abbey beer. And when they say Abbey beer, again, I've said it before, but it's a bit of a broad description. But the reason it's called an Abbey beer, it's somehow linked to the St Bernardus Abbey. That's where the link is, the Abbey beer. I don't know I can't work that one out. But, it's a pretty shit beer review, to be honest. There's really not much information about this at all. So let's just get it open and let's see what it tastes like. Right, now that's not going to fizz up, is it? No, it's not. Cap is just plain metallic blue, quite dusty and all, so they obviously don't sell much of this in beers of Europe. I've got a Steenberge glass, not a Steenberge. Let's just get it in there. Wow, this looks like an amber beer. It's quite clear. I can smell that from here. What is that? Ethanol. Wow. Quite a bit. Oh, now we're talking. Oh, big, strong clove aromas on that. Very strong indeed. Interesting. More clove than anything else. Unusual. There it is in the glass. at 7%, that head is going to go. So I better get the aromas out of the way quick before I have no head left on this. Yeah, a clove, spice type aroma, almost like a wit beer. That type. Yeah, ethanol, coriander, clove, no banana, and white pepper. In a blindfold test, I'd say this was a super strong wit beer. Interesting. Let's get it down the hatch. Cheers. Oh, that's quite sweet. Oh, ethanol burning as well. Or warming, not burning. But the finish dies really quick on that. Quite big flavours on the palate though. Very spicy. That's what I would, if there's one adjective that I would use, I'd say it's spicy. Now there is, as I say, there's the spirit alcohol, there's the ethanol on that. There's quite a bit of sweetness on this too, and I'm imagining the sweetness, or the sugar, the candy sugar, has been put into this to obviously ferment, give it a secondary fermentation, but also to balance this out, because it's quite spicy, it's quite ethanol heavy, and the sugar just sands all them rough edges off, and it ain't bad. Having said that, I would probably, 2 would be my maximum on this, because the sugar is quite cloying, and yeah, I would get a little bit tired of that mix. The sugar does give it, I'm not sure whether it's actually candy sugar, I did say that. I'm wondering whether this is like a glucose or something like that. It says sugar, but yeah, the sugar can mean glucose, it can mean dextrose. I think some Belgian brewers do use dextrose, and of course you've got the invert sugar that they use. So what type of sugar is it? I'm going to say this is glucose, because it's quite, I wouldn't say thick, but it's a little bit too sweet, if you know what I mean. And it's got a bit of character, I will say that. The spice does, you know, it makes it unmistakably Belgian, if you know what I mean. With nice clove, coriander that's on there, a little bit of white pepper too. No banana that I can discern on that. But it ain't bad, I will say that. 7%, I have to say, the head has lasted. I thought that would have been gone by now, but that has lasted quite a bit. Mouthfeel is quite big, there's a fair amount of body on it. Oh god, more spices now, and I'll just give that a little swirl around, reinvigorate that carbonation. Yeah, you get a hell of a lot more spice on that. Not bad, and that is as far as I will go. What is the verdict on Red Bornem? Well, it isn't too bad. It's from a brewer that is just okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I did like that Golden Drac that I tried. That was really good. But this stuff is, I think it's spoilt by the whatever sugar they're using in this. It's a little bit too much. I can see why they've put it in there, because the spice is quite big and it's toned that spice down. The ethanol's quite big, that's been toned down as well by the sugar, but I would drink 1 or 2 of these, and that could be my limit. I don't think I could get more down me. I'd soon get sick of that sort of glucose type sweetness that's on it. But for 1 or 2, you know, if you, and these, you know, it's 7%. This is not a guzzler. This is not a session beer. This is one to just sip and savour. But I think 2 would be my limit. And to be honest, at 7%, you wouldn't really want to be caning this, to be honest. But it ain't bad, in my opinion. If you like Belgian beers, if you like that spice that they put in there, the coriander, the clove, and the pepper, and if you like Wit beer as well, I think you're going to like this. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think that's a fair mark, 7 out of 10. I'll knock marks off for a little bit over the top on the sugar, and it's just not Moorish, if you know what I mean. It's not one that I would want to drink, and it's probably not one that I would want to buy again. But how much was it? Let's find out. Let's weigh up the cost of this. No, I got it from Beers of Europe. Beers of Europe do not put the price on their beers. I think it was over £3, and nah, there's just too many other good ones out there that I would rather spend my money on than that one. And of course, now with Brexit, it's going to cost even more if you import them. So, you know, there we are. So I think 7 out of 10 is a fair mark. And yeah, if you like Belgian Wit beer, I think you're going to like this. But if you don't, then you definitely won't like it. So there you go. And remember, beer is working class champagne.